Yo, 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 Cowboys Nation, what's good? What's good? What's going on, man? How y'all feeling? Cowboys fans, Cowboys Nation, Cowboys haters, everybody that's here, what's good, man? I hope y'all are doing well. Um, I hope you had a good weekend. Me, I was under layers and layers of snow, but we are good though. We are here and I'm excited. Let's talk. Let's talk a little Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? Talk about George Pickens returning, talk about our defense coaches we hired, talk about um, your feeling heading into free agency, heading into um, the draft. Let's talk about a couple different things and let's see where the Cowboys conversation takes us. How about that? How about that? Earl VZ, what's good? What's good, Rome? We need GP. Once we lock him up, hopefully that gets the ball rolling. That's a fact. That's exactly why I'm in here to talk. That would be one of the first things we need to do. That will get us headed in the right direction. Nathaniel, I mean, my fault. What's good? What's good, Rome? How we feeling? I'm feeling good, man. How you feeling? Sean Isaac, what's good? Cowboys Nation, give us some good news. Rome been rocking with this channel for a while now. Well, I ain't here to sell you nothing fake. I ain't here to sell you nothing fake, but good news is I think we're heading in the right direction. I think we're headed in the right direction. But it's all good. 113 people in here in a minute on a Monday. Hope y'all doing good. DeCuria Moore, what's good? Hey Rome, how you doing today? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hope you're doing good. Big Dow 8604. Yo, what's good with my dog? Jay Battle in here, Vinny Hagan in here, Todd Miller in here. More Eddie in here. What's the latest Dallas Cowboys new defensive coaching staff? We'll talked about that a little bit on Saturday. We'll talk about that. We got Ansley in here, Ryan Smith in here, and Christian Parker, of course. So three coaches so far, and some other interviews that happened yesterday. I talked about that the other day, but we can revisit that. Champion Cowboy was good. Big Chops, Hoodie Kush, my dog was good. Darnell Lamar in here. Going on? What's going on? What's going on, my dog? Jap Vision. Mike McCain. Trying to shout at everybody while I can before we get to talking to couch potatoes. Cowboys fan talk veteran. Been here since the beginning, I think. Blink was good. Dolores Ennis, what's going on? Cynthia Casilius. Hey, everyone. What's good with you? Nathan. Nathaniel got you. Milton. I think I got everybody. Thomas Garrett, been in here for a minute. King Gresh, my dog. Cartel, what's good with you? What's good with you, King Gresh? My dog King in here. JVB boy. I think I got everybody. Tony Nichols in here. Oh, my family in here quickly, too. Quickly. Um, Ron the Don. What's good? Love that name, Ron the Don. Ron the Don in here. Willie Vassar. I ain't missed nobody. Marcus. If you please charge it to my eyes, not my heart. If I ain't say your name, trying to make sure I get everybody. Rose, Carla Mata, what's good? Carl Williams. I think I got everybody. Y'all coming in here quick, but that's a good problem to have. It's not bad, not bad at all. Um, I hope y'all Pete Freezy's in here or Peasy Feezy's in here. My fault. Ken Hat was good. Mason Ace, Rome. Have you seen Fish lately? Vin on Pickens? I have not. Donald, I don't watch um Fisher every day. I'm not surprised you do though, League Commander. You watch all Cowboys videos. You be locked in. You literally told me the other day you woke up thinking about the Cowboys. You gotta get some help. You should be at least thinking about the Commanders, but think about being happy you woke up and stuff. Stop waking up thinking about the Cowboys, especially since you're a Cowboys fan. Karam, what's good with you? Got to sign GP. Got to. Do I have to ask y'all that? I rock in here too. Do I have to ask y'all the simple question? Do you want to resign Pickens? I feel like that's a given. I don't feel like that should be something I should have to run down past y'all. I feel like that's a given. Like, of course, we want to resign George Pickens. you know, first super chat of the day from King Gresh. $5 super chat. Y'all go ahead and throw some fire in there for King Gresh. You're let's keep this building coaching staff. Let's keep building this coaching staff. The staff is just as important as the coordinators. I believe so. The staff is very important. Coaches is important. Players are exponentially important, et cetera, et cetera. I agree. I agree, man. Appreciate that first super. Rome on pick 20 back with a high second rounder. Your thoughts on Dylan out of Oregon. Dylan, I think his name is Thienen out of Oregon, and Zion Young Edge out of Missouri. Not familiar with Zion Edge. I've heard. I'm not the draft guru. Don't y'all don't think I am because I ain't hit a lot of y'all. But everybody that is a draft guru. For my dog Tuck, DMV, Foots the King, Vach, certain people I've heard glowing remarks about Thienen. A lot of people put him in their mock drafts. I've just been seeing a lot of good energy that way with that safety out of Oregon. Literally saying he's the second best safety in the draft for what I've been seeing. What's his name that was in the Senior Bowl the other day out of TCU? Ted, what's his name? Y'all tell me the safety out of the Senior Bowl. He's getting a lot of high praise. So the safeties are starting to move up boards. We'll see it. I don't know if they're gonna be as high as Caleb Downs, but they're starting to get some love. Don't give me the line. I'll research and see what I hear. But don't give me the line at all. Thanks again for that super, my dog King Gresh. Now, let's talk about George Pickens for a little bit. Let's do that. Before I do that, are we already at 100 likes? Did we get there? 77. We almost there. Let me get 70 more. Let's get to 150. Because I feel like saying let's get to 100 is easy since we already at 77. Let's get to 150. Hit that like Bud Clark. I don't know why I was thinking Ted. Bud Clark. He had a great Senior Bowl week. He was very sticky and rangy over the week. I think Foots the King got a mock draft out with another safety I'm not too familiar with too. Like I said, I ain't here to try to front like I'm everything. Some people just better at draft stuff than you are, and I don't mind deferring to people I trust with their draft knowledge. You know what I'm saying? As I get the information, I give y'all my opinion. Dean Cloud in here was good. Let's just ask the basic question. Let's start there. As y'all hit that like button as y'all come in. Do y'all feel like George Pickens will be back? Give your honest opinion. Honest opinion. And yes, I'm aware of the franchise tag. I know. But even with that franchise tag, sometimes that's used as a placeholder. You can tag them and trade them. So do y'all think that the Cowboys understand what they got in hand and that he'll be back? And then we'll talk from there. Mike Brown, what's good? Snow melting where I'm at a little bit. Don't tell nobody. Shining Star, yo, Ron, what's good? I emailed you, bro. Oh, you did? Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I've been set my phone down for a couple days. And I need y'all to do me the biggest favor. After y'all see these questions answered, yep. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of, I think he'll be back. Yes, under the tag. Under the tag. We'll talk about that, why I don't think it's going to be under the tag in a second. Because Jory Epstein had an excellent report. Let me know that the Cowboys understand what they're dealing with. I'm liking that we all on the same page. You can't pass up on a supreme talent like that. You just can't. You have to bring them back. That's a fact, especially when I've been seeing nothing but Steelers super fans on Twitter and a whole lot of they wish they had George Pickens back. They need that game changer. You think that we're going to trade for him, give up assets for him, get him, and then just let him walk? You think we that stupid? Not a chance. Not a chance. We ain't going. Hate to say it, but he has no choice. No, of course he don't because of the franchise tag. But I almost forgot. I'd be remiss. Y'all probably wondering why roam home midday. Why he not at work? One, the snow ain't help. But two, it's my baby girl's birthday. My 9-year-old is now a 10-year-old. Please, wish my daughter a happy birthday. I just want y'all to say happy birthday, baby girl. That's my baby. Just turned 10 today. Taking her out to dinner a little later. So do me the biggest favor. Just tell her happy birthday for me. Just in case she sometimes pops into the stream to see what dad talking about, whether I want her to or not. But y'all do me that favor, and then we'll continue the Cowboys talk. Got to show the baby some love. I think they running the game will take us where we need to be, that in the defense. Thank y'all, man. I see y'all saying happy birthday. That's a big deal to me. That's my baby. You know what I'm saying? That's my baby right there. Y'all doing y'all thing. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the love. I'll make sure she sees it too. Little Miss CFT. I got two of them too. I got an older little Miss CFT. Her birthday next month. We'll wish her happy birthday in March. CFT house surrounded by ladies. Yeah, me, my wife, and my two daughters. It is what it is. Y'all doing me the biggest favor. I appreciate all the support in the chat. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Now, as far as George Pickens, one of the things that stood out to me is Jory Epstein's report. Shout out to Jory Epstein, excellent reporter. She reports for Yahoo Sports, I believe. Definitely got a good connection with the Cowboys. She always has stories that are pretty spot on. But her report, and I'll put it up on the screen in a second. She was saying that George Pickens was a discussion in the defensive coordinator interviews, and I was like, "Oh, really?" But it's smart when you bring people in to interview them. You ask them, "Hey, man, so when you were trying to defend us, what was your biggest problem? You was doing some self scouting. What was the biggest thing that was hard to defend?" And one of the biggest things, which was a nod to Dak Prescott, to CeeDee Lamb, et cetera, was, the Cowboys, it was more easier to defend when it was just, what I'm saying, bracket CeeDee Lamb, double CeeDee Lamb, right? We wasn't really stressed about the run game because the run game was porous. And no disrespect to Jake Ferguson, but nothing else. Nobody on the offense scared nobody. I think y'all still going with the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I don't want y'all to think I'm ignoring it. I'm seeing it coming through as I'm trying to multitask. Thank y'all, man. But what I was saying is a lot of coordinators apparently that we interviewed, and not coordinators, but just people um trying to become our defensive coordinator, but they might not have deep been a D line coach, linebacker coach, former defensive coordinator, et cetera. Apparently, we were asking them about George Pickens, and one of the biggest things that stood out was George Pickens was a problem. And I'm gonna read the report in a second. A problem to defend. A problem to defend. And you really start to realize, okay, if potential defensive coordinators, great defensive assistants around the league and different positional coaches, when they come to talk to you about getting your job and you ask them what was the thing that was the hardest to defend with the Cowboys, or if you were going to defend the Cowboys, what would be one of the hardest things to defend? And they say, George Pickens made it hard. He was a problem. Why would we let that walk out the door? Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones know what they have in George Pickens and Will McClay. I'm sure they do. I'm not tripping. I seen them super chats come in from Hoodie Cush and Darnell Lamar. I'm gonna get to those in 2 seconds, my brothers. Thank you for the two super chats. Just want to make this point, and then I'll bring up the Jory Epstein report. Also, thank y'all, man. I see y'all got the likes over 100. We heading towards 150, and it's 270 people watching, and I only been in here for 12, 13 minutes. That's beautiful. Y'all killing things, man. I appreciate 13 minutes. Thank y'all, man. We almost got 300 people watching on a Monday afternoon. That's fire to me. Um, I think that notion in itself lets you know I can't let him walk out the door. That's like Aston, asking teams that have multiple different weapons that you can attack with under contract, mind you, because George Pickens is under contract. Before anybody says, but he can leave in free agency. He technically can't because we could just pull the franchise tag, right? He technically can't, but I get why you would say that. I get why you would say that. But when the Rams are considering keeping their team together, they're not going to say, should we keep Devontae Adams with Puka? I don't know. When the Bengals were faced with, should we keep T. Higgins with Jamar Chase? It's like, that's kind of the engine. Well, maybe the engine is Joe Burrow, but hey, man, this the fitted kit to make this car go. Like, come on, man. I don't know if teams do that. You think the Eagles, even though he had a down year, are trying to get rid of Saquon Barkley, considering how much attention he draws from the defense? They're discussing should they trade AJ Brown because they don't want to go back to the days of don't worry about him. They want it to be like, how are you going to stop this person, this person, this person, this person? You got to realize the George Pickens thing, a rising tide raises all ships. George Pickens is not the best receiver on the Dallas Cowboys, or you can debate it. I still think that's CD Lamb because of his versatility, inside, outside. He can even play running back. But George Pickens is very close. 1A, 1B. I think they're both ones. They just have different attributes. I'm just giving a nod to CD because he's been a Cowboy, and I got an affinity for CD too. But y'all know how much I like George Pickens. 300 people in here too. That's fire. Let's get to 200 likes. But what I'm saying is, George Pickens being on this team makes everyone's job easier. You have to account for him. And it's going to be worse this year because now teams are going to be game planning to stop George Pickens more than CD Lamb. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. He's going to get last year, CD Lamb was getting more attention. And George Pickens wasn't getting enough attention because people were looking at George Pickens like, ah, he's just a malcontent. He's a deep ball threat. I'm not worried about him. Took like almost 75% of the season where people start game planning for George Pickens. And then you saw a little bit of a hiccup. And we will have to adjust to that. But my point is, having that is a good problem. Why do you think I put good problems on the thumbnail? This ain't no accident. That's a good problem to have. You don't throw that away. You don't change that. You don't go back to poverty. I'm not going back to the Jalen Tolberts of the world. I'm not going back to, I hope Jonathan Mingo can become what George Pickens is. I'm not going back to the T.Y. Hiltons. Remember them days? I'm not doing it. We finally got what we fought for. I didn't fight for it to get it for a year. I need that for 3 to 4 years bare minimum, which will be the contract length. Yeah. Let me read these supers that came in, not to be rude. Shout out to my brother Hoodie Kush with the 199 super chat. Happy birthday, baby girl. No, that's my fault. That's Darnell Lamar's. All of our hires said GP and CD have them giving them fits. That's a fact, Hoodie Kush. That's a fact. Thank you for that $2 super. That's a fact. That's my point. To my point. See, we great minds think alike. Darnell Lamar, 999 super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. Happy birthday, baby girl. Also, those contract numbers have gone from 3 to 4 years. APY 33 million. I think that's the number. I think George Pickens gets the equal contract to CD Lamb. And I think he'll think that's fair. I think George Pickens gets 33 million. That's my prediction. 33 million. He gets CD Lamb's contract number. And yes, the salary cap booming like that helps us. Yes. But I don't think they slight George Pickens. I think they give him now. He might have a little bit more restrictions in this contract than CD Lamb, and he should understand from our standpoint, that's fair. But go get your money. Do I think that this contract is going to be like not guaranteed? I think it'll be like 75% guaranteed. It won't be 100%. And he got to realize he hasn't earned a 100% guaranteed contract. So I think that's fair. That's not disrespectful. I think you can get this contract done respectfully on both ends if you communicate, and it shouldn't be a problem because George Pickens is in his best environment with Dak Prescott, CD Lamb. He got somebody he trusts like a brother. He got teammates that he rock with like brothers, and he got a quarterback who is a elder statesman in the league now. It's crazy to say that. Who's respected, that he got love for, that he respects. And he'll behave when you care about people, you behave a little bit more. When you know they rock with you, you behave a little bit more. $2 super chat from the real gun. Appreciate you. What up, Rome? In here late. What's up? What's the verdict? The verdict is I think the nods from other teams, defensive personnel that we've interviewed for our defensive coordinator job, other execs are saying you don't let George Pickens leave the room. You don't let him leave the building. I think the Cowboys are not stupid enough to just say, well, we don't care. You always got a player, you always got a person that doesn't understand where we're coming from. And that's fine. Everybody ain't gonna be on your page. That's why I like to highlight sometimes dueling understanding. Rome, we don't need Pickens. We need more players. So you saying 3 1s and a 2 in the 2026 not worth Pickens? Rome, rethink this. No, I'm not rethinking shit. No disrespect to you, but we need George Pickens. You don't let your best players walk out the building. We already did that once with Micah Parsons, who unfortunately got hurt. You need stars in this league, and then you fight and find ways to fill the other parts however you need to do it, whether it's free agency or draft. But you don't let your stars leave the building. We let Micah leave the building. Now we got stars in different positions. We got Dak Prescott, CD Lamb still, but now we got Quinnen Williams and George Pickens. That's the base of our team. Those are our top 4 best players. Overshown fighting to get into that conversation. Deron Bland got to get back healthy and return to form. But our top 4 best players on the Dallas Cowboys, and it ain't even close. Dak Prescott, CD Lamb, George Pickens, Quinnen Williams. I'm not putting them in order. Y'all can do that on your own. You need at least 4 great players. We got 1 on defense, and then you can put Kenny Clark, I think, is a 5th. You got 1 on defense and a possible, like a spades hand, and you got 3 on offense. You do not let them leave. No, to go back to what? Hoping you don't. I've always said this, and I've said this a lot. This ain't no disrespect to you. I've said this a lot. See, I still got the birthdays coming in. You don't trade away a player hoping to draft a player to become the player you traded away. You don't trade away George Pickens and say, if we get a receiver, I hope he can turn into George Pickens. You already got it. That's what I've been saying about Dak for years. Yo, we need to get rid of Dak so we can get a quarterback and pray that he can become the Dallas Cowboys all-time leading passer, which sounds like a crazy notion when you first draft somebody, but he's already that. So you keep that. You build around it. Skeptical Fan member for 2 months. Shout out to Skeptical Fan, man. Hit the like button. Thank you, Skeptical Fan. No question. 350 people watching, 199 likes. Let's get it to 250. Let's build in sets of 50. Appreciate you. I got a $5 super chat from Josh Randor. Devil's advocate. What if a team offers a 1 and a 3? I want to keep him, but what if? No. You can pick up that 3 by just trading back in the draft and keep your 1. We already got 2 1s. No, because if we get a young receiver, let's just say we get rid of Pickens to draft a young receiver. You're going through growing pains. You end up with like a Matthew Golden, who was a great prospect coming out, but faded down the stretch. 1 touchdown for the year. George Pickens had like 1,400 yards and 9 touchdowns. Are y'all crazy? That ain't you. What college person's coming out that no. And you already see he got good chemistry with your team. They locked in. Quarterback like him, other receiver like him. There's no brotherhood hate. There's no CD looking over his back because the new dude trying to take his spot. They have great chemistry. He is assimilated in the Cowboys fandom. Everyone like Pickens. Why would we start over? Bring somebody in here. You don't know how he's going to act. You don't know how he's going to fit. You don't know if he want to beat CD and take his spot. We don't got to deal with that. Both of them are locked in. Terror twins. Nah, sorry, Josh. I appreciate the super chat, but I disagree. $5 super chat from Skeptical Fan. Sorry I'm late. Go Cowboys. You good, bro? And thank you for the $5 super. You are good. King Gresham, $2 super chat. Made a comment a while back. Check the CA. Oh, the Cash App. My fault, bro. I am just all over the place. Y'all throw some fire emojis in there for King Gresh. You can't see it because it ain't on the screen. King Gresh dropped a $20 Cash App. I appreciate you, bro. $20 Cash App from King Gresh Please throw some fire emojis in there for him. I appreciate that. $20 cash app. $10 super chat from Suave D. Appreciate you. Why is it that every other team can have two legitimate receivers, but Dallas can't? I don't know. I don't know why we're the only team where I think our former predisposed thought processes draft, 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 draft. Some of them players you got to keep. Build around, build around, build around. Unless y'all want to go into a true rebuild, then trade Dak and CD and Pickens. Just start over. Dak is in a window, people. I hate to say it, your quarterback got like 3 to 4 years before you start being like, is he super too old? You maximize this window. You don't trade veteran players that can play good and start over. I don't want the receiver that's going to be nice in 3 years when Dak is 37, 36. I need them to play good now. $6 super chat, unique number. Good afternoon, Rome. Do you think Parker gets the rest of his staff set this week? I do, because a lot of media outlets have been saying they want to have the staff set by Monday. The staff isn't obviously set by Monday, but they building. They got 3 people on the staff. Derek Ansley, who's going to be our passing game coordinator, formerly of the Packers under Jeff Hafley. You got Ryan Smith, who coached for the Cardinals under Jonathan Gannon, worked with Will Johnson, great young rookie that came out of the draft. I don't know if he worked directly with Buda Baker, but I definitely know he worked with the secondary. So, and he's also got ties to Mansour Delane because he helped recruit him to Virginia Tech before Delane ended up at LSU. So that's dope. And then you got Christian Parker. We know his background. We've been talking about that for a couple weeks. Appreciate you for that super. James Fitzgerald, $4.99 super chat. Picks are not guaranteed. Pickens showed what he can do at the highest level. Ask Buffalo how they feel about Keon, and he got busy in college. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 407 people in here. Appreciate y'all. Excellent super chat from James Fitzgerald, man. Show him some love. Excellent super chat. And I like Keon Coleman. I like Matthew Golden. I like the young receiver that went to Tampa from Ohio State. What is his name? It just takes a while, y'all. No one hits the ground and just perfect. No one hits the ground. It's just perfect. Ted McMillan had a great young rookie season. He ain't better than George Pickens. He had the best young rookie season. No, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not trading him. I'm not. I'm keeping him. Midwest Cowboys, 499 super chat. Ryan Smith, coach Mansour Delane in college. Yeah, VTech. I think that's a pick at 12, especially the coach Parker, Smith, and Ansley, all coach DBs. All coach DBs, all young. I forgot how old Derek Ansley is, but they're all younger than normal. Young staff so far. Young staff so far. I'm loving the young staff. Darnell Lamar, 999 super chat. Y'all want to get rid of proven receiver one that takes the offense to another level, where we've been banging on the table for it. Thank you, because I was yelling last year at the top of my lungs. We need weapons, team weapons. We finally got a weapon, and y'all trying to trade it in. We finally got some weapons, and y'all at the pawn shop trying to trade it in. Nah. There's no receiver in the draft that's better than George Pickens. There's not one that's close to him. There's not one. If this was next year and it was Jeremiah Smith out of Ohio State and we had a guaranteed pick for him, possibly. But Carnell Tate and these receivers can't mess with George Pickens. We're not gonna do that. Even Tyson out of Arizona, none of them can touch George Pickens. No. Not right now. By the time they good as George Pickens, Dak gonna be my age. And that ain't a compliment. The real Gunner, 843, appreciate you. $5 super chat. I'm with you, Rome. I'll be damned if we don't keep GP. Dak already said he want him back. Dak said he want him back. Stephen Jones has come out and said, we understand who he is. We want him back. Stephen Jones, cheap ass, never do that. 404 people in here. Appreciate y'all. 241 likes. Let's get it to 300 likes. Stephen Jones cheap ass never do that. Emeka Ibuka. Thank you. Because I was like, Emeka Ibuka. He had a great early part of the year. He fell off because he's young. Young guys are hard to sustain through. First of all, it's the longest season they've played. It's more physical and demanding than they've played. They're playing against grown men. They get worn down. George Pickens know this game. Nah, I'm not getting rid of him. You think he's not going to be back? He got that busy first year. You think him and Dak ain't going to be more on the same page? Shit. I got a $5 super chat from Tony Nichols. James was on it. Look at Marvin Harrison. It takes time, people. It takes time. Thank you for that $5 super chat. It takes time. That's all. It takes time. He got hurt. I get it. But sometimes that the injuries, I don't know what his injury was, but sometimes it could just be fatigue. Your body not used to the physicality of playing against these grown adult men. And Emeka might become great, but George Pickens is great. And I'm going to take this victory lap because I was banging the table. I love George Pickens coming out of the draft. Have a video on my channel before he got drafted by the Steelers saying I wanted the Cowboys to draft him. So yeah, if you're wondering like, yo, sound a little personal. I love George Pickens back then. I did. I wanted George Pickens back then. So yeah, that we got him now. Hell no, I ain't letting him go. CB Politics was good. Now I want to play something for y'all from the reports that came out. All right. What I think, I like Jeremiah Love. I'll take Jeremiah Love. I'll draft a running back. I'm down with loading the clip. As long as they're going to be active in free agency. If you're going to spend a draft pick on a running back, you better have gotten me a veteran corner or a veteran edge rusher. You go get me Trey Hendrickson or a Khalil Mack or somebody where I can just kind of be like, okay, we got some edges. We're making it work. Yeah, draft Jeremiah Love, make this offense like crazy. But if you're not going to do that, hell no. Because the defense needs attention. We can't just ignore the defense that much. I don't know what y'all talking about, and I'm trying to keep up. Hold on, making sure I got this other super chat from Sheepdog. Appreciate you, $5 super chat. Let me put y'all on the screen too. My fault, y'all. I'm just talking. People forget you have to have a team that wants to trade up for your pick. And what are you giving them? And what are they giving you? I get that. But I know if Sheepdog, if you've been paying attention to the Cowboys, we've traded back with less capital in years, with worse picks. How do you think we ended up with Cooper Beebe trading back in the 20s? We traded back to get Micah Parsons. Cowboys are trade back. We down for that. We just got to be smart about it. We down for the trade back. Now, is it going to look like one of these PFF trade backs when you got the simulator and you get like 7 picks back, like when I be doing it? Probably not, but you can get it done. Let me put this up on the screen. Hold on. I'll put this up on the screen. Hold on. Can y'all see it? No, y'all can't see it that way. I got to actually take y'all off the screen. My fault. To get the Jory Epstein article. I'm pretty sure Jory Epstein hates what's going on in the media right now. She hates that her last name is connected to that. I'm sure. I feel sorry for her, to be honest with you. But that's another story for another day because this ain't a political podcast. That's another story for another day because we ain't gonna get this into politics. But I'm just saying, I'm sure she hates that joint. I'm sure. Let me read this $20 super show CeeLo some love with a little bit of fire emojis in the chat. He just dropped a 20. What's good, Ron? Finally got the notification back from you. I'm locked in now. Keep up the fire shows. Thank you, man. $20 super chat. Thank you, my brother, for the $20 super. I got you. I'm gonna try my best to give you the best content that I can, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay. Now let me read. Jory Epstein, speaking on George Pickens and the looming defensive coordinator situation. I'll play some of the audio. I don't want Yahoo to come for me because people be tripping. So I'll play that in a second. But the Cowboys knew they wanted to employ more five-man fronts next season to capitalize on their talented defensive tackles. Hold on. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Hold on. Talking to these defensive guys we brought in, we were we were a pain for them. Cowboys executive Vice President Stephen Jones told Yahoo Sports from Senior Bowl practices that they start talking about, oh my gosh, when we had to play you guys. He's talking to executives when he's at the Senior Bowl. This is the thing that stands out to me, right? He's talking to executives when he's at the Senior Bowl and just getting a little bit of intel on what's going on, right? When we had to play you guys, that was a problem. They have to decide, hey, put your best cornerback on one and double the other, or do a lot of moving parts to show they did it. Candidates, your offense caused a lot of problems. Like I said on the thumbnail, good problems to have. We gave up a third round pick for George Pickens, right? Look at the production. Because you gotta visualize these things, because sometimes people don't get it. Look at the production. George Pickens, CD Lamb. 1,400 yards for Pickens, 1,000 for CD Lamb, 84 receptions, 84 reception yards per game, 76 for Lamb, 93 receptions, 75 for Lamb. Remember, CD got hurt. If he don't miss a couple of games, he probably got 1,200 yards. 9 receiving touchdowns for Pickens, 3 for Lamb, 137 targets, 117. And trust me, the chemistry of these two and Dak Prescott's going to be better next year. Just look at that. You think we want to give that up? What team just actively gives up one of their best players? $5 super chat from Freshman Cut It. Appreciate you. Bro, I'm with you on GP. I hope his agent ain't pushing 40 mil. As much as I like bro, he ain't worth 40. Hell, Micah ain't get that. Now, I don't think his agent going to push 40 mil. I do think his agent is going to push for the exact amount of CD Lamb, and that's the cost of doing business. CD literally said out of his mouth verbatim, I want Pickens to make more than me. I don't think the Cowboys would do that necessarily, but I think CD knows how the game works. It's not about when you get paid. It's not about how much you get paid. It's when you get paid. It's Pickens' turn. CD's turn was a while ago. CD will re-up when he can. He's still young enough to get another big contract. CD will be back. But CD knows his career is going to be better off with a killer next to him than him being doubled and tripled. So I like it. Thank you for that super chat. I like it. Now hold on, let me see. Executives and talent evaluators from several teams at the Senior Bowl practices this week told Yahoo Sports they would keep Pickens if they were the Cowboys. This is the thing that stands out to me. Me with my ring light talking my trash on a Monday afternoon. Stephen Jones probably don't care. Although I would love to think Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones watch my show. They probably don't. And that's fine. Though they disagreed on how they would approach that continued union, how much they would want to pay him, some preferred a multi-year deal over a franchise tag projected to cost $28 million over the cap. All of this would hit the cap in 2026. I would like to believe with all of this smoke, there's fire. You got so many people pushing in to keep George Pickens lane. The Cowboys would have to almost be stupid to just throw caution to the wind and say, we don't want him. Everybody, executives, other defenders, all media, and probably lower tiered on their list of caring, all fans, everyone saying keep George Pickens. And you would just say, nah, we good. We going to re-sign Jalen Tolbert. Like, come on, y'all. Nah, you keep Pickens. You keep Pickens. Others preferred to see Pickens off-field behavior another season before long-term commitment. What? Oh, he missed a couple meetings, man. People miss meetings. I don't care about that. He has not been locked up or anything like that. He ain't been suspended for no games. Pickens is fine. Missing a meeting, miss me with that. His talent. I don't care. How about this? How about this? I wouldn't care if Pickens made if Jalen Tolbert ain't missed no meetings. He on time, he early. Perfect attendance. He helping set up. When the games start, I'm still want Pickens out there. I don't care if he missed some meetings. As Jimmy Johnson said before, and I'm paraphrasing here, so don't hold me to it. As Jimmy Johnson said before, right? I treat everybody as fairly as their talent. You know what I'm saying? If Troy Aikman is late to a meeting, or if Troy Aikman falls asleep in a meeting, I'm just going to wake Troy up. Hey, man, you asleep. Pay attention. Right? If the third string left tackle falls asleep in the meeting, he getting cut. Life ain't always fair. It is what it is. If George Pickens is late to some meetings, so damn what? You still starting over Tolbert because you better than him. Because you better than him. I'm sorry. Another NFC executive wondered if Pickens' cost would make Lamb a trade candidate in 2026. I don't know what he's talking about. The executive projecting Pickens to command a range of similar to Lamb's $34 million. Like I said, $34 million. That's what I'm thinking. It's just too, and y'all go to Yahoo Sports and find this article. It's just too crazy to think that you would trade somebody like George Pickens. Let me see if I can play. I might have to start it over. Hold on. What I will do is stop sharing this. Read this super from Darnell Lamar, $4.99 super chat. Y'all must want to roll out there with Tolbert at wide receiver 2 and Turpin, Rome's homeboy. That's not funny. Me and Kavontae Turpin don't really rock with each other. He talked too much shit online to be, and he like 3 foot tall. You better chill out. If I throw his little ass in the trash. At wide receiver 3. Absolutely not. Jet Li, what's good with you? Absolutely not. I'm not going. I'm wrong that mindset. Ain't nobody talking to you, league commander. You a Commanders fan. Your opinion around here does not matter. You don't like us. So anything you're saying has the stench of I'm a hater. So I don't care what you're talking about. I do not care what you're talking about. Hold on. Let me get this little audio from the Jory Epstein stuff. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this audio playing. All right, let me see if I can get this going. All right, let's see. All right. And if y'all not familiar, those are our 3 coordinators right there. Or three defensive coaches. My fault. Now let me see if I can get this right. All right. Sometimes I gotta cut it off because it helps them to not flag my video for hating. So I'm gonna cut it off, but I'm gonna still play it. Y'all listen up. Let me know if y'all can hear. Put some thumbs up in the chat if y'all can hear the audio.
Obviously, near and dear to your heart, the Dallas Cowboys, still reporting on them. What's going on down there with the Cowboys?
Yeah, I talked to Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones when he was here this week, and I talked to him about their new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, who was pass game coordinator, overlooking the DBs, and the Eagles are over. seeing, I should say, the DBs with the Eagles this past year. First of all, they are
What up,
fired
Ty
up about
Cowboys?
him. I talked to people in Philly and former stops who work with him, and they're like, this guy's a genius. He communicates so well. He instills confidence in his players, and he understands how to really get the best out of them, both from a technique standpoint and a schematic standpoint. What was interesting to me is that when I asked Stephen Jones,
you see, that was a little Christian Parker love
about George Pickens, their receiver, and what they're going to do. Hey, are you going to franchise tag him? Do you expect an extension? How do you go about working it out? One thing he told me that surprised me is that the Cowboys defensive coordinator interviews actually further instilled their confidence in why they should keep George Pickens.
Now, you heard her question. Pay attention to when people say stuff like this because it's important. Right? It's important. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. She went out our way. She said, I asked Stephen Jones, are y'all going to franchise tag George Pickens? Do y'all want to pay George Pickens? She said Stephen Jones went to tell her about what other people was telling them about George Pickens. You don't bring that up if you ain't thinking about how to figure this out. You just say, we'll see. We'll figure this out. We got a lot of options on the table. What he's doing is, my point is, he's furthering his case. This is why we would want to keep George Pickens. Because people around the league respect that we have him. Let me let the rest of this play.
Interesting.
Because they're talking to all these defensive coordinator candidates, and they're like, hey, you guys were a pain to go against this past year. I mean, again, guys like the Eagles, they face the Cowboys, and they're like, well, usually, you want to put your best corner on the receiver. You want to kind of cloud and double it. And now it's like you need your best corner on one side, you need double on the other, and it really created some challenges. And so I think that the Cowboys already knew George Pickens was talented, and they still have to figure out the financials and whether they think that a one-year deal or a multi-year deal makes the most sense for where they're at, and not having Micah Parsons on the cap definitely helps in terms of giving room, and they've got multiple first-round picks. But I was surprised and I thought it was clever that the Cowboys' takeaway from the defensive interviews were not only about defense, it was also, hey, here's how we understand the way our offense is.
I love this interview because it's reiterating what I was just telling y'all, but it's the Cowboys realizing that they weren't perfect. Self-scouting yourself is always important, whether it's in football or in life. Acknowledge where you had faults at to get better. Asking other people from around the league what you're good at and what you're not good at is how you get better. You don't just sit there and do groupthink and be like, yo, we nice and we ain't won shit in 30 years. Nah.
Stressing other defenses.
It's fascinating how they do the deal, because you're a better team with George Pickens, clearly. And those interviews, like you point out, back that up, confirm that.
Yeah.
But
of course.
George is an interesting character.
No.
How do you structure the deal? How much do you guarantee?
Nope.
How does that deal affect the interesting character moving forward? It's not so cut and dry.
Yeah, it is. This is simple.
It's not. And it's interesting because I did talk to an executive from another team yesterday who's like, hey, I trust George more in Dallas than I trust him with a lot of teams, because I think Dak and I think their infrastructure and I think Shoddy will be able to kind of keep him on the right path, but he has not.
See? All that stuff. Jory. Shout out to Jory with the facts. I trust George in Dallas more than I trust him other places, because they got Dak, they got Shoddy, they got CD. They got a better infrastructure than other teams do. He's there with people he trusts. He's there with people he can get behind, like Dak Prescott, as far as just his leadership and his mentorship. You got a great coach that understands George. Hell no. This ain't just any other team.
Not shown it for multiple years. The end of his time in Pittsburgh was not particularly smooth. And even in Dallas this year, when he was better off the field, he still missed a curfew in Vegas. Like, you still have to worry about this guy. And I think probably even more concerning than what George was doing was the fact that CD missed the curfew with him. And then you have to say, okay, well, is he going to bring other people down with him? But I think when it comes down to it, like this year, he was more productive than CD Lamb, and he had a higher ceiling this season than CD Lamb. And so then you have to say, how do we make all of these contracts work? And I talk to some people here who say, hey, I'd want to make him the third, or if I were his agent, I would ask for third highest paid money. Like, he's not going to get Jamar Chase money, but he might get close. I would want to know guarantees. And I will say that when the Cowboys were negotiating a contract with Randy Gregory years ago, and Randy Gregory, their defensive end who had multiple suspensions for the league.
Randy's still salty, by the way. Should have stayed with the Cowboys. Should have stayed with the Cowboys. Randy Gregory's career the grass ain't always greener. Randy Gregory chose the Broncos. I was tight at the time because it felt like betrayal and it felt like the Cowboys was playing. But choosing the Broncos, his career died off a cliff. As much as Randy used to piss me off for the Cowboys, especially tackling that offensive lineman in that playoff game in 2021, I ain't forget. He still was a viable pass rusher in the league. He went to the Broncos, and I never heard from him again. He literally disintegrated. I don't know where Randy Gregory at. I don't think he's in the league, obviously, but like literally that move changed everything. Grass ain't always greener, y'all. It ain't.
League for violations of the substance abuse policy. He was between going to the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos. And one of the reasons he signed with the Broncos is because the Broncos were willing to waive a clause about his money getting voided if he got suspended again, and the Cowboys were not. And so if there was something like that, and I get that George Pickens has not been suspended, but if there was some sort of clause that allowed them to void the guarantees if there were off-field issues, I think that's where I would want to know, like, hey, can you work that into the contract? But also David Mulligetta reps him, and he doesn't really give a lot in negotiation.
That's a fact. David Mulligetta is his rep, and he don't give a lot. He don't give a lot. Hold on, let me grab some of these supers that was coming in while I was talking. Hold on. Make sure I ain't miss nobody. I appreciate y'all showing love today, man. Midday. Literally got almost 500 people watching mid-afternoon. That's fire. That is fire. Tony Nichols with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you. What's even more exciting is Flournoy is coming on. We could be ridiculous three-headed monster, and they would still have to defend Ferg too. They would. It's a great point. They would. They would. Thank you for that $5 super. Ferg gets better with all these great players around him. Shout out to the Qs. Appreciate you, Frat. Frostbite with the $5 super chat. Q, what's good? Chilling, man. Welcome in here, man. What's good with you? $5 super chat from Freshman Cut It. Appreciate you. Hey, bro, this year for VUU homecoming, swing through. I'm going to get that beard right for you, bro. Full beard maintenance on me. Okay, little haircut advertisement. Send me an email, man, or DM me on Twitter. Send me an email, man. We'll catch up. I'll be through there. You know what I'm saying? You got a minute though. It's February, so we'll talk homecoming in September. I appreciate that $5 super. I'm very, very, very specific about my haircuts though, but we'll talk about that offline. Rome is must see YouTube. Been saying that for years. I be feeling like you being funny, League Commander. I appreciate that, but you sounded like some sarcasm. I don't know if you be real or not. Feeling like you talking shit on the low. Rome, you might be the worst culture. You might have the worst culture of football, and you claiming the best spot for him. You're talking about your predisposed thought process on the Dallas Cowboys because you think this 1990 and players is running around doing heavy drugs. It's 2026, and you have an example of how he did in Dallas. It just happened in front of you. There's video evidence. He was there for the whole year. And what most of the people, let me get this off the screen. Most people thought that what happened to George Pickens didn't. Everyone thought George Pickens was going to crash out. He didn't. He had a great year. He had barely a game where people said his effort wasn't up. That's it. That's the thing. That's the smoking gun that y'all was waiting for. No, y'all want it to be a bad environment for Pickens. But I seen the bond he formed with Dak Prescott. I see the bond he has with CeeDee Lamb. He's in the perfect place. I see that his coach respects him. He don't get into it like he used to get into it with Mike Tomlin. Now he in the right spot. Y'all don't want it to work. You don't want it to, and I get why you don't want it to work, because you a Commanders fan. And you mad. And you would love George Pickens on your team. But ain't nobody coming to play with Terry McLaurin. Nah. Icy was good. It was good. I just wanted to come in and say all signs are pointing to the Cowboys doing something that should make you do that thing that's above my head. Y'all see that sign? I got two things that I put stuff in my room that makes sense. I got that quote from Darth Vader. I find your lack of faith disturbing, because there's a lot of Cowboys fans that lose their faith quickly and easily. But this sign right here, believe. When I see something I can add to my room that makes sense, I add it. Just like good players inspire themselves, great players inspire others, things like that. You know, the execution stuff I got on the wall, that stuff is for a reason. But the believe thing, if the Dallas Cowboys sign George Pickens without making it a media spectacle and making us wait till August, if they sign him early, everyone needs to come into my stream and say, Rome, you called it. Because if they sign him early, it would be the most definitive fact that they moving differently. If we get the George Pickens deal done during free agency, so it gives us more money to sign more free agents, that is the biggest sign y'all gonna have to say this shit is different. If we franchise tag George Pickens and drag this shit out through the summer, ain't much changed. But if we find a way to get this deal done in a timely manner, and that deal getting done early will allow us to do something like sign a linebacker and an edge rusher. We get George Pickens done early, you can expect to get a Trey Hendrickson or somebody like that. You can expect to get Quincy Williams in a veteran corner, because we'll have extra money on the cap. The signing of George Pickens, whether you want to know it or not, you franchise tag him, that's $28 million out of the cap now. You sign him to an extension, this year's cap hit might be $16 million. And then that extra $12 million can go to other players. That's how this works. Hold on, Creative Edge. Did you drop a super or just a message? My fault, bro. I'm here running my mouth. Shout out to Creative Edge. Rome, you might have missed my original message. Just wanted to holler at you in the cartel. What's good with you, man? Saying what's up? No way in hell did they let GP go. Hell no. Creative Edge. Ain't no way they let him go. There ain't no way they let him go. Trade for Crosby. I take a trade for Crosby too. Trade to one. F them picks. If you bringing me back Max Crosby, you know I was saying we got 4 players on this team. That would give you 2 on defense, 3 on offense. Now you cooking. If our defensive line started with Max Crosby, Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, and trade Osa, no disrespect, but if you to get the Crosby deal done, you traded Osa, trade the one, a one in Osa gets Max Crosby here. You move the contract and you bring back Crosby. You're already paying Osa 20, so then you'll be paying Crosby an extra what? 10? That's good business. Trade Osa, bring back Crosby, an extra $10 million, and you have Quinnen Williams and Max Crosby under contract? What? Listen, would change everything. And then everybody here be like, that was a good-ass move, Rome. I know. Oh, I know. $2 super chat from Chris Tennyson. We play at 3-4. We're playing a 3-4. That's fine. And Max will play in that 3-4? Yes, he will. Yes, Max will. Yes, he will. And he'll do well. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. Hold on one second. I should do a mock. Should we do a mock draft? maybe we should do a mock draft. Should we do a mock draft? I'm gonna slide out of here in about 10 minutes because I gotta get ready to take baby girl to dinner in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Um, remember, she's a 10-year-old. We're not going to dinner at 8, 9. Should we do y'all want to do a mock? Do a little late mock? What y'all want to do? No? Okay, let's do a little mock. See if I can get this PFF thing up and running. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. See what we can do. Hold on. Still signed in? No, it ain't signed in. Hold on, PFF. I paid for that. You're gonna have to give me sign me in, big dog. Okay. Let me get this up on the screen. Let's do a little mock. $2 super chat from Star Guardian. What up, Star? I can't wait for the Parker interview. I can't wait neither. So we can put a voice to the face and, you know what I'm saying, in a direction. I can't wait for it. Should be coming soon. That's why they're trying to get this. They don't want to do the interview without talking about his staff. So they want to get the staff done so we can get that done. We get this ball rolling. All right, we're going to get this mock draft on the screen. Hold on. Yeah. There we go. All right, so let me see. Do I like it like that? How y'all like it? You want me at the bottom? On the side? Nah, I'll go to the bottom. I go to the bottom. Can y'all see good? Bop. Also, before we do the mock, I'll be remiss if I ain't show the channel sponsor some love. Let me get the channel sponsor some love. Y'all don't get mad. I know y'all getting mad when I do things. But shout out to Sleeper, sponsoring the video. Super Bowl coming up. It's this week. Go use CFT. I told y'all who I'm leaning towards. I'm Seattle this week. I'm a Dallas Seahawk. It is what it is. I'm a Dallas Seahawk. Got to root for somebody. Use code CFT. Get $100 match deposit. Match up to $100 deposit on your first deposit. It's real simple. It's not hard to set up at all. And go like I'm Sam Darnold. I'm looking. Go pick and see if if D Law is going to get one sack or something like that. Go find some good picks. Use code CFT, man. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Sleeper. Okay, let's start the mock. Rome, my Commanders can land Bain, Styles, Bailey, one of them. We all state we in good hands. Hey, lead commander, I'm gonna tell you a little thing about the Commanders that might hurt your feelings. It's the same thing I would say about the Jets or the Giants or the Cardinals or the Panthers or certain teams. Some teams pick in the top 10 every year and have been picking in the top 10 every year for the last 20 to 30 years. And it ain't meant shit. Now, I know we ain't won a Super Bowl ourselves, nothing like that. But I'm not trying to say that y'all won't get better by picking any of those players. I'm trying to tell you that my team been beating y'all ass no matter who y'all picking. That's including Jaden Daniels. Still belt the ass. So go pick your player, get hype, say you're going to sweep Dallas, say you want Dallas like y'all always do, and we still going to beat that ass like we always do because that's what we do. Whether it's Cooper Rush out there or Dak or whoever we put out there, we whooping y'all ass. Because one thing we going to do for sure is beat Washington. So relax. Sorry. Had to just let you know because you're getting a little off. You're getting off the rails. Got to put you back on the rails. Star Guardian. Another $2 super chat. If Downs falls to 9 or 10, would you trade up? No. I'm not trading up because we need the draft capital. I might. But I'm going to say no. I might. All right, we're going to do 10 rounds before we start the draft. I'm going to tell y'all this. One, I ain't arguing with y'all. Are we going to do 7 rounds? I'm not going to argue with y'all. I'm not. I'm still going to make the picks. But I will say this. This is just a mock draft simulator. We're going to do more mock drafts. It's February 2nd. Calm down. Breathe. Because I know how y'all get. I start making picks and then y'all getting y'all feelings and we forget where we at. So everybody calm down. It's just one of the mocks. All right? Okay. I think I'm not going to do no trade backs because that'll make this start to go further. And I ain't got time like that. I got to dip in about 7 minutes. So we're going to do 7 rounds. I always adjust the randomness just a little bit. That's just my preference because the draft is unpredictable. And to act like it's going to be set in stone is crazy. All right, let's do this. Who's on the board for Dallas? Let's see who went. Fernando Mendoza, Ruben Bain, David Bailey, Jeremiah Love, Jordan Tyson, Arvell Reese, Gerard McCoy, Peter Woods, Carnell Tate, Francis Mwagwa, tackle, Marquis Lemon. And look at that shit. Look who done fell. Do I need to ask y'all if y'all would take him? I don't think I need to. Y'all know damn well if we look up and Caleb Downs in there, y'all know the vibes. So shall I make the first pick? Because I'm not hesitating. If Caleb Downs is there, I'm taking him. I am taking him. Caleb Downs. Bop. Now, we get to pick 20. Let's see who went. Mansell Delane went to the Jets. Trying to replace quarterback. I traded the Colts. Okay, Sonny Styles to the Ravens. That makes so much sense. Sonny Styles to the Ravens. Cassius Howe to the Rams. Okay. Kendrick Falk went to the Panthers. All right. Who's on the board for the Cowboys? I'm not taking a tackle, so don't ask me. Don't ask me if I'm taking a tackle. Caden Proctor, Kenyon Sadiq. This is when I start getting in my should I trade back bag. Should I trade back? And I wanted to stick and pick, but I'm a look. I'm gonna look. I said I wasn't gonna do no trades, but I'm gonna look. I'll do one trade. I ain't doing like no 3rd round trades, but I might do one trade if one of these joints is worth it. Let's see if it's worth it. 32. Seattle got 4 picks. Damn. Trading back to 49 is nasty. Whew. If we trade from 20 to 60, if Seattle got a full team, so they might be down for that trade because they're trying to get one person. So let's see if they'll give us 64. Let me see. Cowboys give up the Green Bay pick. That's 100%. See, I want that. I want that other one too. Seattle ain't giving up that much. But I don't care about realism. What y'all think? If I'm going back that far, I'm getting more than a second. I want that 212. I want that 96. But Seattle about to win the chip. So you got to think. They're not giving up their whole draft, though. Seattle not giving up their whole draft. Don't trade out the first round. Okay, let me look. Let me go back and look. Let me go back and look. All right, no trading. Let me drop the trade. Let me draft the player. Colton Hood is so far down. CJ Allen right there, though. I got to get this linebacker situation together. Ooh, but what if Mesidor is there if we trade back? What if Mesidor is there? I'm gonna do a trade back. I want an edge rusher too, though. This is when the shit get tricky. I'm not taking Colton Hood is too far back to take that high. I'm trading back. I'm trading back. I'm trading back with Seattle. I'm staying in the first. I'm getting there 64. And I'm getting that 212. I don't care because that's 12 picks. We're getting more. How about I give them the 96 and I trade them the 112? All right, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him 20 and 112, and we're gonna get all right. That's a bet. All right, that's a bet. I'm going for it. Bob, we gave up 20 and 112, and they snap. We took all their picks. Whatever. All right. I ain't wanted to be all those picks, but here we go. That's probably unrealistic for them to give us 4 picks for 2. But we're here now. I just wanted the second. So somebody gonna tell me that is not realistic. Whatever. Whatever. We going. I'm gonna speed this bad boy up. All right. So now we back in. Proctor's still there. I see my dog went. No, he didn't. Hold on. Did he? Mesidor went to Chicago. It's my own fault. So Proctor, KM. I'm gonna go Anthony Hill. Ooh, that's safety there. I'm gonna go because we already got Caleb Downs. Anthony Hill. We're gonna speed this up. And then I'm going to go. So we got our safety linebacker. I did not get an edge rusher. That's when it gets tricky. Whose edges on the board? I gotta wait on the edges. All right, so we got a linebacker, safety. Maybe I'll go corner. This is when we get to freestyling because it get dark later. What did he look like? What's this? Daniel Everett. When you get Downs and Anthony Hill, you kind of already in the mix. Let me see what y'all talking about. I'm going corner. Yeah, I'm going corner. I see y'all saying go to corner. I'm going to corner. All right. Boom. Then we got another pick at 96. Rodriguez too? Sign me up. But I already took Anthony Hill. I need an edge. I'm taking the edge. What's his build? He's 6'1". That's a 6'1" edge, though. We already got a small edge. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that. I might go with Nick Singleton. We do need a running back. We got to sneak a running back in here somewhere. I'm going to sneak a running back in there. Don't tell nobody. Caleb Downs was our edge. We're going to have to get a veteran edge because I didn't gave up the edge work. It's my fault, ball. Anime Tucker. Bop. Western Michigan. Somebody going to get mad. Let me see. We probably don't need no more defensive interior people, but if we go into 3-4, we might. If we go into 3-4, we might. We just might. All right, let's see where we at. Might need another corner. This look like a nickel too. This look like a nickel. Let me see. Got the interior. We cooking. Yeah, I'm gonna grab another corner. Our secondary ain't lit enough to just have one. So where we at on our picks? We got Caleb Downs, Anthony Hill, Dalen Everett, Nicholas Singleton, Nadame Tucker, DeMonte Capehart, Devonta Smith. We got 3 other picks. And I would love to say we don't need all these picks, but yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right. What else can we get? Let me see what y'all talking about. Styles. Who I take at 12, no matter who's there. Styles is who you take at 12? Shit. I'm taking Caleb Downs. Rodriguez did go, but we took Anthony Hill, so I let Rodriguez slide. I did. Let me see what else I can get. Let's wrap this up because I got to slide before I get ready to go to this dinner in a little while. Let me see. I'm going to sneak a quarterback in these back draft, though. I'm telling y'all right now. I'm going to sneak a quarterback. I might go some O-line, though. I've been neglecting the offensive side of the ball, of course. We need some positional flex. 6'2", 290 ain't gonna work. Sorry, big dog. Maybe a tight end. That's not gonna work neither. I don't like none of these picks in the back. Boo. None of them. I don't like none of these picks. But we need a guard. I'm taking it for depth purposes. Who else is there? This is when it get dark, y'all. Don't judge me. The back half of the draft is not my friend. Not yet. We do need to replenish that running back room because I'm not the biggest Jadon Blue fan anymore. But I'll take a linebacker just because we need depth at LB. And I'm going to take a quarterback. I've been leaning towards Miller Moss, but who's a good quarterback? Illinois? Nah, I'll take Miller. Cole Payton. I'll take Cole Payton. Wrap this draft up. How bad we do? 2 awards. How bad we do? We get a C. Oh, A-. We was cooking. What y'all think? Man? Caleb Downs, Anthony Hill Jr., Dalen Everett, Nicholas Singleton, Nadame Tucker, DeMonte Capehart, Devonta Smith. Not to be confused with the dude from Philly. Ethan Onowaya, Xavier Sori, and Cole Payton. What y'all think? Horrible? Bad? Good? This is Slugger Booger. Yeah, early stream today. Yeah, it's my baby girl birthday, so I'm sliding out of here in a minute. We need a dog pass rusher in free agency. We do with this draft. We do. Let me go ahead and jump back up on the screen, though. I appreciate y'all tapping in with a brother. You know what I'm saying? A little early stream. You know what I mean? Bernard was good. You know, I just want to say this, man. We're not letting George Pickens go nowhere. This is me presenting the evidence that Stephen Jones and the Cowboys know. Hold on, my damn blurriness on my camera is messed up. Anyway, I'll fix it another time. Camera tripping. The Cowboys know not to let George Pickens go nowhere. So if you're confused and you think somehow that George Pickens is getting out the door, please think otherwise. I appreciate y'all. Solid draft for real, for real. Thank you. A little freestyle in the back because I told y'all that ain't my strong suit. The back in the draft, we ain't there yet. It's February 2nd. But look, man, I'm gonna side up out of here, man. Thank y'all for your support. Always rocking with your brother. I want y'all to have a good rest of y'all afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Hit subscribe button if you like the content. Thank everybody that drops super chats and likes and all that. And I will be back soon with more content, some news break. Might drop y'all a little late video. 199 super chat from Darnell Lamar. Scott McCurley got hired in Pittsburgh. Oh, that'll be for the next live stream. Mike McCarthy hiring his friends. Mike McCarthy is hiring his friends. I ain't doing it. But y'all have a good rest of y'all day.